Okay, so you're going to notice that this one is going a bit quicker than normal. First of all, welcome to Battle City. This match is Seeker against Lumis and Umbra, and the reason why it is going at this speed is because this was the absolute crappiest match I've ever seen in my life. It went for just over 30 minutes. It was filled with absolutely nothing, except just watching players skip turns, and I didn't think it was fair to have everyone sit there for half an hour to get a result which, as you will see, between Seeker and Lumis and Umbra, there is a little bit of an issue with Seeker's deck. In Battle City, quite a few decks had a card called Exchange in them, and there were also a few effects where you could swap cards in hands, and if Seeker has that played on him, and he has an Yugioh card in his hand, which most of the time he does, as you see there, he just drew one, he can't win. If he loses Yugioh, he is literally beaten. Same with cards being removed from his hand as well. If Seeker loses Yugioh in whatever way, that's pretty much it. He can't win the duel. He can only stall until either a deck runs out of cards or something like that. So we've just seen Sangan go down. So at this point, it is guaranteed. I mean, Spellbinding Circle was played, but literally, as you see, Lumis and Umbra can't attack. They know the defense is going to be high. We all know what Seeker's defensives are like in his deck. So literally, this match just sat there while Seeker drew cards like this. Both players skipped. They've already basically skipped 10 turns. The Dark Door was just destroyed, a scapegoat token, and Seeker is drawing cards for every time something is destroyed. Now here you would think, he has a chance of drawing Yugioh, and of course he did, but we will soon see what happens. So Seeker has Wall of Illusion on the field, which is a good card. Now that's another card that Seeker has to watch out for against Lumis and Umbra is those mask cards where he can actually start taking life points with its effect. So 500 points will go per standby phase. So yeah, the issue with Seeker's deck pretty much is that if he loses Yugioh, he's done. However, he's very hard to get through because he has so much defense and so many ways to stall the opponent. So yes, this match was 30 minutes of just pure, like, you would fall asleep unwillingly watching this match. So, alright, Mask of Dispel, another 500 points. And look at this, turn change, 19 turns, and we have not seen anything interesting, even in the least. You see, Seeker has drawn 2 Yugioh pieces. Mask of Dispel is doing its effect, and there it was there, Exchange. And now Seeker has lost Yugioh, he can't possibly win. Do we want to skip through another 40 turns while we wait for Seeker to run out of cards? Probably not. Otherwise we're going to be sitting here and we're going to be watching a duel that just has no action in it, and literally we know the outcome already. Seeker now cannot win because he doesn't have Yugioh. He doesn't have a way to get it back into his hand from the graveyard. Once it's done, it's done. Seeker literally is just going to run out of cards, and you will see a little interesting thing happen, and this did happen once in one of the previous duels. It shouldn't be too far away. The video is at 250% speed, and up goes Jar of Greed, another 500 points off Seeker. There's Sangan, Stumbling, Mysterious Puppeteer's effect. So Card Trader, that's a good card. You can throw cards back into your deck and draw a new one. Card Trader is a very useful card for Seeker's deck because it gives you more chance to draw Yugioh, but at the same time you kinda like, I don't know, sometimes you have to throw away defensive cards. If you try and top load your Yugioh cards too early and you draw them all too early, you can sometimes be a bit left undefended. Lumis and Umbra's deck isn't overly powerful in terms of attacking. They do have those magic and trap cards that can actually sort of trap your deck and stop you from attacking, but that's pretty much it. In terms of sheer power, unless they get Masked Beast to the field, it's not something that a lot of duelists are going to be worried about, because ritual cards are generally pretty difficult to summon. So as you see, 27 turns have passed, and we have literally seen no action at all. I know this is probably hard to follow with how fast it is going, but literally no attacks are being thrown, stumblings on the field, so everything's going to defense mode when it's summoned. And Seeker has more life points than what he knows what to do with right now. So as we see here, there is Mask of Dispel that was just played. Again, now more 500 points are going to be coming out of Seeker's total. And as you see, Lumis and Umbra did go for an attack just to see what was up. There goes Card Trader again. We are now at turn 29 with no action being shown. And Witch of the Black Forest was just played. Literally, Seeker can't win. He's gonna have to run out of cards for this match to actually end. So there's Upstart Goblin, and it happens sometime around here. So this one I have already watched back. There was a note left on it by my guys as well, the players, and they said speed this one up. And what to say? Speed this one up. 3 dots. You'll know why. And I thought, yeah, we're gonna have another one of Seeker's matches where they I have sped one of them up previously because it was a match like this as well. His last match was okay, but yeah, a deck like this for Seeker doesn't work. I would have to create a stronger Exodia deck for him. And okay, there it is. That's what happened. There was a software error, like in that Panic and Mokuba game, and under no way were we re-recording this. So I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So what we did is we just called that one as a victory for Lumis and Umbra because Seeker couldn't possibly win. And he would have run out of cards first, regardless. So, Justice for Mokuba. Yes, Justice for Mokuba. And first turn, they don't draw any monsters, but they've drawn Exchange. Cup of Ace, face down defense. And Mysterious Puppeteer is set. There goes Mystical Space Typhoon, which destroyed Remove Trap, which is pretty much useless. There's Bait Doll, Megarus Light goes down, end phase, turn change, and we see just an end phase. So you would assume if Seeker's not playing much cards down, then he probably has Exodia pieces in his hand. All Lumis and Umbra have to do is wait until they're absolutely sure that there is an Exodia piece in his hand, and this duel will already be over with the effect of Exchange. And there goes another face down defense. And there is Masked Clown. Rogue Doll attacks the face down defense, and it is Witch of the Black Forest. We now know that Seeker has an Exodia card in his hand, Exchange, and the duel is over. Seeker cannot win. Eventually, Lumis and Umbra will summon the Masked Beast, or they will find a way to get cards off the field. They have Dark Core. They have multiple ways of getting the cards off the field. So literally, we have no choice but to sit here and just wait for that inevitable end. There's Mind Control that can take a card off Seeker's field as well. Seeker also has a few equipped cards and stuff like that you see there with Dark Energy. So even if he wanted to, he could also increase one of his monsters' attack to be able to get over all of the defenses as well. There's Jaugen the Spiritualist. That's a pretty good card as well. So yeah, unfortunately this match, and it's probably going to be a running theme with a lot of Seeker's matches, is they're just going to be absolute junk to watch, so they will be sped up like this. Like I said, I don't think it's fair to make people sit through half an hour of just watching players pass turns. So even when we it's coming to the point when we're seeing Seeker's matches come up, all of us here are just going, alright, well, he is a contender, it does have to be done, so... And, so, down goes Dark Energy, Melked the Four Fates Beast, gets that little power boost. And now Seeker is even just throwing away the Exodia pieces because they're now no good to him. Seeker's also got a Mask of Brutality, which can increase his monster by 1,000 as well. Eventually Seeker would lose. He has no way of winning this. So that in question says, what can we do with Seeker's deck? And the answer is not really much. Unless we divert from his original deck, I can't have more than one copy in his deck because they're limited cards as well with the Exodia pieces. If he could have 3 copies of the card in his deck, it would be a different story. He would be able to actually summon Exodia even if he did lose one of the pieces, so that would change the game completely, but unfortunately I can't do that with Seeker's deck, so I can only have 1 copy of every Exodia card. It keeps it legitimate to real world, but it also, yeah, it's also a shame, but as you see, all Seeker had to do was just build up his field. We did agree, as we were playing, we weren't going to prolong this duel. So eventually, Seeker, there goes Bazoo, he could remove 3 cards from the graveyard and make Bazoo up to like 2,500. So either way, Seeker would have eventually lost. And that's where we called it. So we sped this up 250% and it still was about 11 minutes. So yeah, altogether the duel would have been about half an hour. And we would not have seen a very interesting match. Well, that unfortunately is how Seeker and Lumis and Umbra's duel went. I know some people have said, I mean, speeding it up that fast, is it really necessary? But believe me, when we did this one, and we watched it back, and we were like, yeah, this is half an hour of absolute agony to sit through. It was tough just recording it on its own. Anyway, Esperoba and Bakura are the ones who are playing next. That will come up tomorrow as well, so we should see a better quality match out of those two. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I know this one is a bit of a disappointment, but I thought it was best to speed it up and just fly through this one because Seeker's deck sort of has this asterisk behind it of being of quality of that we don't want people to have to sit through 30 turns of turns being passed. Anyway, I'll be back at it again tomorrow with more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, keep well, farewell.